Hi, and welcome to your lantern kit tutorial. In your lantern kit, you will have received 3 large panels and 1 small panel, and those are going to fit into a lantern like this. It's an IKEA lantern, and when your panels have been fired and completed, I will place them into a lantern for you, and so when you get it back, you'll get the lantern with glass inside. This one over here is an example of our Christmas version. So you will have what you need in the kit to do any style you want. There'll be a wide range of colors and shapes and sizes of various things, so you can create whatever design you like. And if you want to do Christmas in July, you certainly can. So I'm going to show you a couple options. I highly recommend going to the glass cutting introduction video and looking at that, because I'm going to skip over a lot of the glass cutting because that's already been covered in that video, so we can look at some other things. Inside your kit, you will have all the tools for cutting, and you will have all kinds of crushed glass and beads and stringers and things for decorating. So I'm going to just take the front door panel, and you will see that on here we have marked in black Sharpie marker the corners of each of these panels. And that's because it's really important to keep your design inside this border. And that's because when we go to place the glass into the lantern, we want to make sure that there's only a single layer thickness around the edge so that it fits nicely into the frame. If there's extra glass here, then it doesn't fit snugly into the frame. You'll see here's an example of some cut glass and some crushed glass, or what we call frit, on this one. And you can see that the glass is overlaid on each other. You can stack up as many little pieces as you want on top of each other. The temperature that we're taking this one is tack fuse, and so everything, it's exactly as it sounds, everything gets tacked in place, but it doesn't liquefy. The core of each piece of glass stays hard so that it stays 3-dimensional after it comes out of the kiln. So you can see there's quite a bit of texture on there. So don't be afraid to stack things up and to lay pieces over, and know that it'll look pretty much the same, with the exception of the edges of the glass will melt and smooth out. So you can create, as we show in the glass cutting video, you can create round shapes and things, and those edges will soften and smooth out a bit, so you don't have to worry about those edges being too perfect. I'm just going to quickly go over this one, just because there are examples on here that even if you're doing something that's not for Christmas, there are examples that you can use for all kinds of different designs. And so I'll just quickly go over how each of them was done. The Christmas tree on the front here was done with frit or crushed glass for the branches, and then it has a little piece of cut glass for the trunk, and some coarser frit overlaid as little baubles. And then at the top it has little tiny pieces of stringer, which I'll show you in a moment, that you can break in your fingers and just place as in a star shape. And then the rest on here is crushed glass. On here we have squares cut out of cut glass, and there's a ruler in your bin that you can use the ruler and the cutter to cut squares. And again, that's in the video. These are stringers on here. Again, you just snap them with your fingers. And these guys are little glass beads, and you'll have a bag of them in your kit, so you can place them wherever you want. And then this one is a bigger circle and more beads, crushed glass. The stripes are stringers. And then finally we have a snowman which is crushed glass. The little buttons and eyes are just coarser pieces of frit of the crushed glass. More stringers, little piece of glass, sheet glass, and a stringer for the brim. So the trick to all of this is once you lay it down on your base glass, it's probably good to have all of your base glass laid out in front of you, and then you can start placing. Once you have it laid down, you're going to want to use your glue, and in your little kit, you're going to have 2 different kinds of glue. So I like, for the majority of pieces on here, the easiest bet is probably to use the hairspray, which is this one, and you can just use your little eyedropper. I'm going to show you on this one just to give you an idea. So you just pull up some of the hairspray in the eyedropper, and then after your pieces are laid down, you can just place the hairspray at the edge of each piece, and that will hold it in place. Now for the frit, you're going to want to use, again, bigger drops to make sure that that frit stays in place as well. Leave it there for a couple hours so that you're sure that it's all dry, and then when you go to pick it up, you'll be able to see if anything's moving, and if something's moving, just give it another little shot. You don't need too much, a very little bit, but it does need to come in contact with the glass in order to stick. So I'm going to show you an example on this little guy. And in the kit, you've got crushed glass, you've got cut glass. I think what I'll do is, and of course we've got beads. And I'm going to just do a flower on here for you, just to give you an idea of something different. A lot of people, and on the website I'm going to have a whole bunch of examples that people have done over the years. We've done over 400 lanterns in our workshop to date, and so now that we're offering it as a kit, I'm sure the number will grow. And let's see, maybe a bead like this is good for, I'm gonna move this out. So I think it'd be easier for you to see if I have this on white. There, that's probably a lot easier to see. So with these kits, because we've done so many, we do have a fair number of examples on the Facebook page, and also on the website with the kits, so you can get an idea from those. Pinterest has a zillion examples as well, so it's endless. But one of the things that's very common is to do nature items from nature, or the 4 seasons, because you've got 4 sides to your piece. So I'm using confetti glass here, and I'm just breaking it in my fingers, and I'm breaking it over the bag of confetti glass, because they tend to, when you break it in your fingers, they tend to splinter and you get little tiny bits. So I'm just so I can keep those bits, I'm using there we go. But you can see it's just all little irregular petals to create that, and I'm just overlapping them a little bit. I've got the bead in the center, got some extras there, put those little guys on top, and then maybe I need some green grass. This is very literal. I've got a spoon in the bag as well, so I'm just going to spoon out from the little crushed jar, glass jar here. There. It's okay if it sprinkles out a bit. That looks very nice. Maybe another color. Give it a little more. put some blue down. I've got some blue colors here. I'm gonna do this blue. And if they fall outside of the line, you can just give it a little push with your hands. This glass is, the frit is pretty easy to just push around with your fingers. Don't rub your fingers together, but certainly it's fine if you just push with your finger to move it where you want it to go. There we go. And maybe I need some green. I'm going to do the whole thing in confetti glass this time. But we do have you will get all of it. We've got bags and bags of the cut glass as well. So you'll have a choice, but I know some people are intimidated by the cutting. Even if you don't use the cutting in your project, give it a try anyway, just so that you can have it, because it just takes a little bit of practice to get comfortable with it. And so take the opportunity to practice. Even if you cut something down and don't use it, it's going to end up being used for something else down the road, because we will be able to use even smaller pieces. So don't hesitate to give it a try. Okay, so I realize I did that upside down for you. So there it is, right side up. I'll fire this and put a picture of it on the website as well so that you can see. But that's as simple as that. You can do all your panels in any design you like, and you'll be given all kinds of goodies to be able to design in any style and any color range. No matter what kit you've got at home, you're going to want to make sure that you use the white bag that's included in the kit to put all of the bits of glass that you didn't use, all of the tools, everything that was inside your box is going to be out of the box and in the bag. That clears up your box to be a safe transport for your beautiful finished piece. There are going to be some little pieces of green painter's tape in there, and that's for you to tack down your pieces. You can either roll the painter's tape and put the glass down so that it sticks to the bottom of your bin, or you can use the painter's tape to just, if you've got a free edge, just attach it to the edge of the glass. That's so that it doesn't move around as it's being carried from place to place. And take a picture of your pieces before you go to take them back to the studio or have them picked up. That way, if one little piece gets out of place, we can make sure that it goes back where it's supposed to be based on your picture. So enjoy, and if you have any questions at all, contact me.